Hello, I am Professor Adrian Rhines of IMD, the leading international business school based in Switzerland. Welcome to this short presentation based on my research on low-cost competition, some of which is discussed in my recent book called Beating Low-Cost Competition. In this short video, I will give you some insights into my book's contents and explain why low-cost competition has become one of the defining features of our corporate landscape. Although low cost is not a recent trend, just think back to how steel making moved from the United States and Europe when cheaper producers sprang up in Brazil and China. The recent hype has certainly made it one of the flavors du jour. Low-cost airlines, hard discount retailers, and inexpensive direct banking have been at the forefront of the movement. And believe me, the movement is not about to disappear. After all, low cost has meant a bounty for the general consumer. Cheaper television sets and computers, cheaper flights to faraway destinations, cheaper clothes so that your wardrobe can change with each season. Since low cost is with us for the long term, it is important for you and your company to start preparing. Just how bad is the pressure from low cost competitors? How much sleep is lost in the wee hours by executives tossing and turning and trying to figure out the appropriate response? Well, according to a 2006 global survey of business executives carried out by the consulting firm McKinsey, more low-cost competitors is systematically either the most important or second most important factor contributing to increasing competitive pressure. McKinsey points out that among the sectors under strong pressure are consumer goods, heavy industry, telecoms, and healthcare. If I say low cost, what comes to your mind first? The chances are that it might be airlines. After all, Southwest Airlines and Ryanair helped create the low-cost brand, or at least make it a household term. How important has low cost become? Let's take a closer look at Ryanair, the Irish wonder story. Its tender beginnings in 1985 featured one aircraft travelling between the Waterford Island and London Gatwick airports. The first few years were so bad that it accumulated losses of £20 million. It was in 1994 that it adopted a true low-cost formula after the then CFO, Michael O'Leary, visited Southwest Airlines in the United States and began to implement changes based on the Southwest model. All of a sudden, Ryanair was off and running. By 2000, 34 aircraft covered 43 cities and revenues reached €370 million. By 2009, Ryanair was operating 196 aircraft to 145 cities and revenues topped €2.9 billion. Now take a look at one interesting angle of the Ryanair story: market elasticity. In the first half of 2009, Ryanair and EasyJet carried almost as many passengers in Europe as Lufthansa, Air France, KLM, and British Airways combined. The message, low cost or good enough services, helped to drastically increase the size of the market. Proof that your company, if it is in a business to consumer business, should seriously consider the creation of a low cost business so as to take advantage of a potentially vast market. Low cost might also make you think of food retailing, Walmart perhaps, or for those of us in Europe, perhaps Aldi in Germany or Leclerc in France. All of these food retailers thrive on low-cost models that use a variety of success factors. For Walmart, it is the tight supply chain and the extreme cost control culture, very high quality private label products, and the low number of stock keeping units. Low cost does not threaten business to consumer businesses alone. Business to business industries are not immune. Let us look at the example of Saurer, a Swiss company that produces sophisticated machines for the textile industry. Although Saurer's machines were sold predominantly to sophisticated manufacturers in the developed world, in the 1990s, the Saurer management started worrying more and more about competition from Chinese textile machinery manufacturers. After a lot of experience selling textile machines in China and some in-depth market analysis, Sauer decided to develop its own simpler mid-performance textile machines. Why this decision? Basically for three reasons. First, Sauer realized that the good enough market for somewhat simpler, more rugged textile machines represented a potential market that was at least twice as large in unit terms as its existing core market. Two, the company also realized that by competing aggressively with low-cost Chinese competitors in the good enough segment of the market, it would make it more difficult for them to move up into the premium segments. And three, and finally, Sauer recognized that its growing Chinese operation could eventually lower R&D and other costs that would benefit its global business. In this short video, we have tried to give you a better feel for the impact of low-cost competition. How will you react to low-cost competitors, like traditional airlines and lose market share, or like Sauer and become active in two market segments? In the series of 6 videocasts that you can download, specific topics that will be explored in further depth include how low-cost companies excel at what they do and what you can learn from them, how big is the threat for your company and your sector of activity, how to confront low-cost competitors in the good enough segment of the market, how to adapt your strategy in order to avoid low-cost competitors, and how to lead your team or your company to compete with low-cost competitors if that is what you decide to do. Regardless of your selections, I can guarantee that you will find this series information-rich and practical. You will find the advice invaluable in preparing to confront low-cost competition. Alternatively, if you have more time or need more details and more examples, I suggest that you purchase a copy of my book, Beating Low-Cost Competition. Thank you for your time and good luck.